Hi, I'm Mr. Ryden, and this is Olney Tiger Encounter. Today I'm here with
Gavin Geller.
And Gavin had the opportunity to interview the Richland County High School cheerleaders, or specifically two of them, a little while back. So Gavin, how did you feel going into this interview?
Well, obviously I was like a little nervous because, cheerleaders, they're scary.
They're scary.
They do the little jumps and stuff. Like not little at all.
No, very big jumps.
Very big jumps, and obviously they're taller than me, so there's kind of support. Superior.
Superior?
Yes. So they're gonna be right here, and
Yeah.
I try to stand straight.
Oh, you did great. You were great in the interview. We talked quite a bit going into this interview about just about approaching it and how to do the interview skills, and you were definitely intimidated by it, but that's good because it meant you were taking it seriously, and you I think it shows in the interview, and I think you guys had a good time, and it was definitely interesting. So enjoy. Rawr, rawr.
I'm Gavin Geller, and I'm interviewing
Hadley and Kyra
for the cheer team OTE. So, describe what do you do in cheer? Obviously you cheer, but what does a practice look like or a warm-up?
I would say practice is we start off with running around the gym for 5 minutes, which can be very tiring, and especially at the beginning, very out of shape. But then we do jumps and we work on our stunts, and sometimes we have competition practice where we work on our competition routine, and we do it several times, and it gets very tiring, but it helps us to be better and do better at competitions. And you can answer.
It's normal practices. Since I don't do competition cheer, we do a lot of making sure that all of our motions look the same and working on our jumps and a lot of tumbling too, because we try to be the best we can, and we use those practices as well as we can to make us look good whenever we're cheering.
We also go over the chants we do at basketball games and all the cheers we also do.
Yeah.
So you say comp. So obviously that stands for
Competition.
competition. But what are some common misconceptions about cheer? Is it not obviously it's not all give me an A, give me an I,
What were you trying to spell?
I don't know. I just
AI?
AI.
Oh, okay.
Do you
want to answer this one?
Some misconceptions about cheer that I'd say are that I don't know how to describe it. That cheer isn't a sport. That's definitely the biggest one. I've got that so many times.
I mean, I can see how people think that, because it is hard, but when people see us, mainly they see us just standing on the sidelines and quote unquote looking pretty.
They don't see our practices.
They don't see our practice.
Used to be since cheer season was almost over, it used to be 9 hours a week, which is
it was a lot, especially for competition, and they don't see all the hard work we put into it, and especially for comp practices, they're long and they're hard and they're repetitive, and people think it's just easy, and it's not. I mean, you're throwing other people in the air. Yeah, it's not. It's really hard, and you're also flipping upside down and having to trust yourself enough to catch it.
And trust other people around you to catch you.
Which some falls happen and injuries happen, and people think oh, cheer, you're not gonna get hurt. Oh,
you do.
You do.
You do a lot.
I think I've almost been concussed several times.
Oh yeah.
And I hurt people. It's really bad. But
So obviously any sport there's positions on a team. Mm-hmm. So I assume you have done cheer longer, right?
Yeah, this is my 3rd year, but I also did it in middle school.
So what's your position, and what do you bring for the team?
Oh, I don't know what I bring. I'm a flyer. I'm the one that gets tossed in the air. And for bringing to the team, I don't what do you mean by that?
So a flyer, obviously they get thrown up to the air, but what do they bring? Do they bring spectacle or
Yeah, I would say it's for the people to watch, because the bases they're doing all the work, but the flyers the one that's looking pretty. It's not as it's hard, but it's not like as hard as like obviously holding somebody up. But I feel like they're more of like entertainment because you're the one you're looking at, and you just have to like make sure you like stay up there. I guess. I don't know if that's the answer you wanted.
No, that's great. I know nothing about cheer, so this is very eye-opening to me.
You're gonna learn stuff today.
Oh.
Okay, well, I'm a bass. I'm actually her bass.
Yeah.
So I've caught her many, many times.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's what, like she said, like most people, they watch the flyer. They don't see the bases and like what they have to put into it. Like I've definitely gained muscle since I've joined cheer, for sure. And like, I don't know, you can't really do cheer without like any of the positions. You have to have the flyer, you have to have the bases, you have to have all of it to work together, and that's what makes the team.
Yeah, it has to work seamlessly to make it look good and actually work.
Yeah.
So, obviously you said practices, but like how do you prepare for like a big like sporting event or competition, you know?
Well, for competition, we just do it over and over again, like doing the same routine, or like we started learning the routine and we like work on the same stunts over and over. But for games, we like, I don't know how to like describe it, but we just make sure we go over like all the cheers so we don't mess up, because you don't want to like mess up in front of like everybody, especially if it's like a really
like
big
a
game.
boys varsity game,
Boys
you
varsity
don't want to
game.
mess up in
No.
those.
JV is like there's some people there, but it's not like as big as like varsity, especially like when regionals yesterday.
Or like if we play against like a good team too, like especially home games. Those are like away games. They're nerve-wracking, but they're not as nerve-wracking because like not everyone you know is there. But home games, they really get your heart beating fast. That's for sure.
The student section is kind of scary sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like very judgy.
Can you share like a memorable experience for just like practice or like an experience that you as a team have shared?
Well, for Christmas, we did like team bonding. Like we've done a couple team bonding activities, which like that really brought us all together. Like I actually really enjoyed those. Like we played games, we ate food, and I still feel like one of the best things that I remember is just our team bonding that we've had.
I would say like, especially like after practice, like you like sit in the parking lot with your friends and you just like talk outside your cars, or like during practice when we have like a little break when we're supposed to be getting a drink, we sit there and we like lay on the mat and we like talk about our day. I say that's very memorable for me, even though like I don't remember exactly what we're talking about. It's very memorable like getting to hear about everybody's day instead of just like practicing around them, learning more about each other.
And like on the bus rides to away games, we're supposed to be quiet to let the basketball boys like get like focused and stuff, but we can't be quiet at all. We're always back there laughing and we get yelled at, but like that makes us laugh more, and like it's just so memorable, like having those memories with your friends, like knowing that you're not supposed to be talking, but like being with people that you like can't shut up around, like that's just a great thing to have.
So cheer and the basketball team or like any other sport team, they are in the same bus?
Yes.
Cheer and basketball, and then during football season, cheer and football.
Yeah. For basketball, we all share one bus. For football, it's like the varsity. There's two buses, varsities on their bus, and then JV, or like not starting players, we share a bus with. But we all sit together.
How do you think cheering like affects like school, like events, like if you're at the, or like an assembly or a game, like how do you think that, like do you think it ups student engagement or no?
I think it does, especially if it's like a close game and we do cheers. Like some of our cheers encourage people to stand up, some encourage people like get rowdy and stuff like that. And I think that really like makes everyone get involved with the game more and like get involved with us more too, which is always a good thing. But I like the whole thing for cheer is to try to like get everyone involved and try to have the spirit and have everyone else get the spirit. So
Yeah, I would say like the same thing. It's very like trying to get people to like enjoy watching the game, especially like when we're down by like a little or it's like a really tight game. We're there to like actually like cheer on the boys, and they appreciate it, I would like to think.
I
And
like
like
to think they do.
when they're in like a bad mood, when they're not doing so well, like seeing like us hyping up like the student section for them to yell, like hypes, and so the student section hypes them up. I feel like that
That helps them do better on the
helps them
court.
do better, yeah.
In your experience, what's like the best game you've been to? Like you've cheered for actually.
Oh,
Last night was pretty good. I'm not
Last
gonna
night,
lie.
yeah.
It was against Mount Toon, and like
the regional game.
it was a regional game, so
It was very
it was-
back and forth. Like
yeah.
we had it, and then that's the games I like. Is like
yeah.
we'll have it, and then they'll beat
Mhm.
us, and then we'll beat them, and then it ties.
Yeah.
And we haven't went to overtime yet though with the season for varsity, which
We
is
did for JV.
yeah.
I like. Sorry, I forgot what was I saying. I forgot what I was saying. God. What was I saying? What'd you say?
I said we haven't went to overtime yet, and
Before that, my memory sucks.
the games that like are tied, and then
Oh yeah. Sorry. Tied games are like really like stressful. Like I cannot do them.
I can't.
And like I like games that are like not when we're winning by like so much, because those can get to be boring, because like we're just keep beating
Like,
by like more.
we're winning.
We're
so
winning.
Like,
It's very boring. I like tight games because it's like way more interesting and like easier to like to interact, and it's like, you know, more fun.
I like tight games where we win though.
Yeah,
That's
we
what-
have to win. The boys are
Yeah.
really good, so we normally
Yeah.
win. Not to brag, but pretty good.
What's your favorite routine like during like? I mean, I guess I'm not. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like, do you have a favorite like? Is it a dance or is it a move?
Are you meaning like jumps,
Like
stunts, or,
routine,
like,
like,
routine?
Like when we go like on like the full court.
Yeah.
we'll do stuff.
Ooh. It's not full court, but I love to do hello cheers. It's when we're going to like the other cheerleaders, we're saying hello, and it's like, it's fun to like get to like talk to them, but it's also fun to like try to intimidate them, because like we're basically being like, we're gonna win, and like even if we don't, but like it's still really fun to like get in their faces, and like not in a mean way, but it's fun.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Just getting to see the other cheerleaders, like whenever other cheerleaders come to our gym
Yeah.
and stuff, and like getting to meet all of them and
Yeah.
see that they enjoy the same things that we do
Yeah.
and have the same experience that we do. I think that's great to see.
And everybody thinks that cheerleaders are mean, but most of the time they're like all really sweet.
That's another
like,
thing. Like
you just bond really easily. Like there's like several times with like an instance with the cheerleaders where I just like I do things to like to help them, and like they really appreciate it, or like they help each other. It's really a nice bonding.
yeah.
I haven't. The last big game I went to was the eighth grade basketball state championship.
Yeah.
That was like the last big game, and then I've been to like 4 football games. Most of them were varsity, because like I went to the JV game, and it's like, oh, you expect like a bunch of people, like, and obviously not a bunch of people, but you expect like at least some people there. It's like very like when someone like runs, it's like woo.
That's why the cheerleaders
Yeah,
are there.
that's why we're
Yeah.
there. And it's very interesting.
We got Mr. Ready squeaking
That did not go as smoothly as I thought.
and squeaking.
Now I
into play.
forgot what he said.
What were we talking
What
about?
were we talking about?
We were talking about routine. Wait, we were talking
No,
about
no.
routines, and then I didn't interrupt you, but I was like, I haven't. The last big game I went to was the state
Yeah,
championship.
yeah.
What inspired you to be a cheerleader? Like, was it like movies, or like you went to a game one time and was like, I want to be them?
For me, it was like I always kind of wanted to, but I think it's because my older sister was a cheerleader in middle school, and also like in like elementary school during like the homecoming parade, I'd see these pretty girls like walk by, and they were always so sweet, and I was like, I want to be one of those one day, and I guess that was like a main reason.
For me, I grew up doing competitive dance, and my competitive dance teacher is the middle school cheer coach, so she also encouraged me to join. But like, I used to like live in Lawrenceville, and I'd always go to like the little cheer camps there, and I remember like being little and like watching all the big girls do all these like flips and stuff, and I was like, I want to do that someday. I want that to be me.
You're doing it now, babe.
Can you describe like the process of joining cheer? Like, is it like you sign up, you try it, you like do a bunch of like stuff, like they see how like flexible you are or whatever, but like describe it to like from an outsider, like for an outsider.
Describe tryouts?
Yeah. Just,
Well, tryouts, there's like open gyms where like everybody can come and they can like get a like feel of it. They can stunt, they can jump, which a lot of that's like stunting and trying new things, like trying new groups. But tryouts, there's 3 days before where we learn like a cheer and a few chants, and a dance, I think, right? Dance? Yeah. Okay. And then on the final day, which is day 4, we do tryout, and tryouts we do like a running tumbling, and then we do a standing tumbling, and then like a bunch of jumps, and then all the things that we practiced before.
In front of people that are judging
Yeah.
us to
Yeah.
determine if we get on the team or not.
There's like 4 or 5 judges,
I think there was 4 last
4 last year, yeah. And it's our coaches aren't allowed to judge either, so like they're not like biased.
So it's like, it's
Yeah.
fair.
And they score you, and like it like helps, like the higher you are, the higher numbers you get, the more likely you're about to be on the team.
what's the highest number you can get? I assume it's 10, right?
I don't know exactly, but I have no idea. Actually, I don't know. It goes off a scale. I think it's like they rank it out of like 5, like 1 out of 5, and then they add it all up. I don't know, like all the different
I'd
categories.
assume it's something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask.
I don't know all this terminology, so like, what is, like, explain your terminology, like, what's tumbling, you know?
I'll let Hadley do this one. She's a tumbler.
Okay. So tumbling. So like, we do a little tumbling, like teaching tumbling at cheer, but you can also take separate tumbling classes, and it's basically you like flip your body around, probably in ways that it shouldn't be flipped as a normal human, but you do, and it's hard. It takes a lot of upper body strength and leg strength, but you're basically just flipping. What I do the most is just, they're called back handsprings, and you just like flip backwards over and over and over again, and you like you just flip your body. Like, it's basically just flipping your body as much as it can go while looking pretty while doing it.
Have y'all been injured or no? That doesn't sound right.
I
but-
think everybody has been injured on the team.
The
I'm not
most
gonna lie.
recent injury I've had is I was actually at a tumbling class, and I was doing my back handstrings, like what I was saying earlier, and I like forgot what I was doing midway. So like I was like getting ready to go back in another one, but instead I fell backwards and I laid it on my neck and back, and I rolled over, and I like pulled all the muscles in my lower back.
I'm just like watching the video in my head again, and I can't.
We got it on video. It's definitely the funniest video I've ever seen.
I don't. Obviously, there's like NFL cheerleaders, but like, is there like, do you have plans to cheer after high school if possible or no?
I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be fun to cheer in like college, but like definitely not like NFL level. And NFL isn't like cheerleading; it's more like dancing. So I don't know why they call it cheerleading, but I mean, they're still cheering on their team. But if anything, maybe college. But I don't know if I'm quite good enough to get there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just it's still a thought in my head. Like, definitely not NFL, like she said, or like
No.
anything super big. Like, college would be the biggest I go,
Yeah.
but
Obviously, from like middle schoolers, you are like tall, and you're like, people look up to you.
Mhm.
What advice do you have for cheerleaders or people that want to join cheer?
just go for it.
Yeah.
Don't be too nervous to try it out. I promise everyone is nice people. Everyone that I've met that's a cheerleader has always been
Mhm.
super nice and supportive. And if you try out and you don't make it your first year, try out the next year. This doesn't hurt to keep trying out. Like, don't feel bad about yourself if you don't make it.
Yeah, and I would say if you do come to tryouts, always try to like keep a positive energy and be willing to try anything, and just be happy to be there, be happy to learn, and just like get ready to get critiques because you're probably gonna get them, but it's for you to be better.
What do you hope to be remembered by? Your teammates or even like people that have seen you cheer? What do you want to be remembered by when you leave the high school?
Ooh, I don't know. I want to be remembered by the cheerleader that was also in marching band, because that's definitely a memory I have, is running out on the football field during halftime in my cheer uniform with marching band. Because that's another thing, marching band people, like, they think that we're just weird kids, but that's why I like doing cheer and marching band, because it shows like inclusivity and that you can do both if you want, and that one of them's not just for weird kids and one of them's not just for mean girls. Like,
Intertwined of the people,
Yeah.
of the, what is it called? Social groups?
Yeah.
I would say I want to be, like, remembered as, like, the person that was, I don't know, like, is good and, like, helpful and, like, leading her teammates to, like, be better, I guess.
yeah.
And just,
I
like,
don't want to be remembered in a bad way.
I
like,
don't be remembered in a bad way. I don't be remembered for, like, doing anything embarrassing. I want to be
Yeah.
remembered for being, like, good at, like,
I don't
being
want to.
cheer.
Yeah, I don't want to be remembered by like, oh, you're the girl that dropped the flyer during a game. Like I remember
Yeah.
like, oh, you're the girl that can put the flyer above your head.
Yeah.
Like, or like you're the girl that encourages people. You're the girl, like, just all good things.
Like a positive cheerleader. I don't be remembered for, like, being a mean cheerleader and, like,
No.
being on the sidelines talking all this crap.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes during games it's, like, really hard to not get interested in the games and yell at the boys, which I do. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too.
It's bad. But I want to be remembered as, like, being one to help lead the boys to, like, do better and be positive, I guess.
You said that you do not only marching band but also cheer. How do you balance school life, cheer, and also your home life? Like, how does that balance?
Well, it was definitely a lot. Like, it's not for someone. Like, I just always made sure I had a positive mindset. I always made sure my academics came first because academics are important to me. So I made sure that they came first, and then just trying to have that mindset that like you can get it all done and like you could be a good student, a good cheerleader, a good at band. Like, you can just. I try to remember like I'm not the only one that's stressed right now. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that have it worse than me or more stress. So I just try to remember all, like, the good things and that I can get it done no matter what.
That was a very nice way to put it.
Thank you.
For me, it's like I'm with these girls more than I am with my own family sometimes. Like, there's been days we're literally with each other every single day, and they can get annoying. No offense. I love you guys, but, like, I kind of miss my bed sometimes because we're always going. But for me, yeah, academics come first. And with cheerleading, you're not allowed to cheer if you have bad grades. So you have to have good academics. But I would say trying to, like, outside of cheer, trying to find time to, like, hang out with your family and your friends and just working on, like, building better relationships with your surroundings. And your
Balance
people.
is the biggest thing.
Balance. Finding that cheer work for me because I work, and school, and
Family,
home life,
friends.
Balance is really hard, but you get there eventually.
Yeah.
About halfway through the season.
Just
but
takes time.
it takes time, a lot of time.
Well, that was very nice. I learned a lot about cheer. I think. What time is it? Sorry.
3:10 almost.
Wait, we talked a lot. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm a very
I
talkative person.
I
it's
think.
an interview. It's what we want.
Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
No problem. Do you want to tell, like, the audience something? Like, a quote?
I don't have a quote, but, like, don't be too quick to judge people. Like,
Yeah,
get to know them before you judge them just because of what sport they do, what sport they don't do, how they look, how they don't look. Like, just make sure that you really get to know the person before you're quick to judge.
I don't think I'm gonna top that one, so I'm gonna let her have that because that was a really nice way to put it. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I can't think of anything better than that. You kind of said what I was gonna say, so.
Thank you. This is my first time interviewing, so sorry if it seems a little
This is
robotic.
my first time getting interviewed, so.
So, thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you for cheering at the games. And I hope you all have a good day.
You too.
You too.
All right, that's a wrap.
Bye-bye.
Good job, guys. And we're back, and that was Gavin Geller's interview with 2 Richland County High School cheerleaders. What were their names, Gavin?
Hadley Heath and Jada. Spieth. It's Athena's sister.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry I can't remember your name.
This was at least 2 weeks ago. We've still been working out the logistics of this show and trying to get it off the ground for season 2 with our video and podcast elements to it. So please forgive us that. And we're just kind of stupid, just a little dumb. So going away, how do you feel like you did in this interview overall?
Obviously, you can see in the interview I was looking at my paper. I knew what the questions. I just want to make sure I didn't mess up. And sometimes I have a word that I want to say. I just can't seem to say it.
I know that feeling very well. I struggle with it too. I am a novice interviewer, and once I'm in the moment, it's like, I don't want to mess up, or I know I'm going to forget what I'm saying or forget a major point. And I've listened to interviews I've done, and it's like, why didn't you ask more about that thing? It was super interesting. Why not find out more? But that's why we're doing this, to get a little better at it, and because it's fun to learn about people and to learn about the goings-on of Richland County High School, and especially for these segments, our OTE program, which is our last block of the day and are meant for entertainment, excitement, involving yourself in stuff that isn't necessarily your core curriculum, but instead things that we love to do. So thank you for joining us for this episode of Olney Tiger Encounter. You're welcome. Bye.